You hear me? It will blow up.
Recently, a gas pipeline, Nord Stream, between Russia and Europe was exploded.
We have some more on our breaking news. NATO this morning calling those mysterious leaks in the Nord Stream pipelines sabotage.
Kill Nord Stream 2 now and let it rust beneath the waves of the Baltic.
If Russia invades, that means tanks or troops crossing the border of Ukraine again. Then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
The climate news suggests Nord Stream was a climate disaster. But the general consensus amongst the analysts is
now to make it definitive, the destruction of the Nord Stream pipeline, which I would bet was a U.S. action, perhaps U.S. and Poland. This is
Jeff, we got to stop there. That's quite a statement.
Quite a statement indeed, but not as egregious as this.
Fast forward to the early 21st century when we just don't need the vast majority of the population.
We just don't need the vast majority of the population.
These are the words of Yuval Noah Harari, an Israeli historian and a professor at the University of Jerusalem. He happens to be chief advisor to the founder of World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab. According to him, human rights are a fiction, just like God in heaven. If you cut open a human, you'll find blood, hormones, and kidneys, but won't find any rights. Nor do you find anywhere in human DNA the Declaration of Human Rights. The only place one finds rights is in stories, fiction that people have invented, and that humans have the right to life, liberty, and freedom of expression. This explains a lot what's happening in Palestine. The Palestinian people are subjected to inhumane treatment. Israel is the sole governing power. It exercises primary authority alongside very limited Palestinian self-rule. According to recently published report by Human Rights Watch, Israel authorities methodically privilege Jewish Israelis and discriminate against Palestinian laws, policies, and statements by leading Israeli officials make plain that the objective of maintaining Jewish Israeli control over demographics, political power, and land has long guided government policy. Palestinians, by virtue of their identity, are subjected to varying degrees of torture that includes confinement, separation, and deprivations so severe that they amount to the crimes against humanity of apartheid and persecution. There is a widely held assumption that the occupation is temporary. The peace process will soon bring an end to the Israeli abuses. Now that is a real fiction. Israel has moved vast number of Jewish settlers in occupied Palestinian territory to occupy those lands forcibly and granted them a superior status under the law as compared to the Palestinians living in the same territory.
Jacob, you know this is not your house.
Yes, but if I go, you don't go back. So what's the problem? Why are you yelling at me? I didn't do this. I didn't do this.
But
it's easy to yell at me, but I didn't do this.
You are stealing my house.
And if I don't steal it, someone else is gonna steal it.
No one is allowed to steal it, يا عمي.
זה לא שלי להחזיר.
וזה, בוא נגיד שזה, יש.
On the other hand, US has sponsored asymmetrical warfare have kept the immediate neighbors of Israel, Lebanon, and Syria in a state of chaos and war. But now, US is helping advance energy normalization with Israel so it can become an energy hub supplying the strategic needs of both those countries.
The pie. But all of a sudden, it's not just a bunch of fishermen that care about those waters. Suddenly there's billions and billions of dollars.
The reason US wants to help only with energy needs is for a possible entry point into making highly profitable economic and political reparations within Syrian state and a base from which to hinder Chinese-sponsored Silk Road connectivity projects.
和对一带一路沿线国家融资56个。
Supporting Kurdish separatist militias to control and divide Syrian resources is one such tool.
In Syria, a new round of warfare. The town of Ras Al Ain under heavy bombardment, one of several just inside the border in the Kurdish-controlled northeast.
Palestinian-led movement, the Boycott, Divest and Sanctions (BDS) warned against importing gas and electricity to Syria and Lebanon from Egypt and Jordan. This pipeline would carry part of the Palestinian gas stolen by the Israeli occupation. After Nord Stream sabotage, the US has become the biggest supplier of fracked gas to Europe, reaping benefits at 10 times the cost compared to Russian natural gas. America's greatest ally, Israel, wants a slice of the pie. Israeli occupation is to trade stolen Palestinian gas with the European Union and Egypt. Under the agreement, gas will be transferred from Israel to Egypt via an existing gas pipeline, after which Egypt will liquefy it and re-export it due to the current absence of a pipeline connecting the Israeli occupation with Europe directly. This, of course, is the goal of East Med Pipeline project, which aims to link Israel through Cyprus and Greece to be commissioned in 2027.
When we first started this process, Israel and Cyprus had a very cold political relationship. The relations between Israel and Egypt were of peace, but a cold peace. There was little integration with Greece. There was a complete shutoff of relations between Israel and Turkey. So the vision that I had about 5 years ago, and shared with, at the time, Secretary Clinton, President Obama, and Vice President Biden, was to engage on allowing these countries to work together.
This agreement comes after EU wanting to depend less on Russian gas, but simultaneously have no issues reaching an agreement with Israel for stolen Palestinian gas. Upon reaching the agreement, the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen tweeted this:
"With this agreement we will work on the stable delivery of natural gas to the EU from East Med region. This will contribute to Europe's energy safety, and we are building infrastructure fit for renewables, the energy of the future."
While the Lebanese people are suffocating due to sanctions and the economic crisis, and the Palestinian people are confronting the theft of their land, water, and resources for over 74 years, Israel is stealing these resources with complicity and concealment of EU countries.
The Commission's long-standing position has not changed as far as the East Med pipeline is concerned. That is to say that the East Med pipeline has been labelled as an EU project of common interest and included in the 5th PCI list. This was proposed by the Commission in November 2021 and went through a scrutiny process with the co-legislators, which ended in March 2022. So the PCI list, as I think you know, presents cross-border projects which contribute to building an integrated and resilient EU internal energy market and also to pursuing our energy and climate goals. So that's our position on this particular project, and that hasn't changed.
As we speak, Europe is concluding new arrangements with reliable, trustworthy suppliers all over the world. In March, I agreed with President Biden to significantly step up LNG deliveries from the United States to the European Union. The amount will replace around about 1/3 of the Russian gas we have today. More LNG pipeline gas will also come from the Middle East and North Africa. New LNG terminals in Greece, in Cyprus, and in Poland will soon become operational, as will new interconnectors. And important is that the connecting pipeline infrastructure will then, over time, form the core of our hydrogen corridors. Hydrogen, ladies and gentlemen, is the new frontier of Europe's energy network.